Okay, really looking forward to this video today. We're talking about DeepSeek R1, China's new thinking model that is going toe to toe with ChatGPT's O1 thinking model. And I'm going to show a couple live demos and then talk about some really interesting things that nobody else is talking about. So, the first thing's a few basic ones that a lot of people have mentioned is it's free, so that's a huge one. You don't have to pay $20 a month, just go on there. The API, so if you're using it for something else, like another program, if you're plugging into that and using it on the back end, it's 27 times cheaper than ChatGPT, which is unbelievable. It's open source, so you can tweak it and you can tinker with it and make your own model, whereas ChatGPT is closed source. And one of the biggest things is it actually shows its thinking. It doesn't just think for a couple minutes and then give the final answer. It shows the thinking steps, and this can really help with your prompting. So those are sort of the good things about it. Some interesting points before I get into the demo part. They use NVIDIA H800 chips, which are a lot worse than the H100 chips. They only have 2,000. A lot of them use, I think, 16,000 chips. And this is due to the US put sanctions on Taiwan sending them chips. So it's interesting that they can still build this with much worse chips. So that's just an interesting thing to think about. Imagine if they get these chips or make their own better ones, how good this is. It's made in China, so everybody there is speaking Mandarin. So if you think about that, we're using it in English. So imagine using a totally different language to build an AI that is a large language model and then expecting it to be as good in a totally different language like English, which it is not. And I'm going to show that. But it is amazing how close it can be, even though the people making it behind the scenes are definitely speaking Mandarin, probably know a little bit of English, and they don't have that human reinforcement learning that they can tweak it. So it's pretty impressive in that sense. And a lot of studies are showing that it's better in math and logic, and I will show that as well. So now let's hop into the first test. So DeepSeek versus ChatGPT's O1. I'm going to say write a 9-word sentence that makes sense and is grammatically correct. The first word must have only one letter, the second word only two, and the third word three, and so on up to 9. So this would be hard for a native English speaker to do. I mean, try to do this yourself. So like you could start with I am, and then you got to think of a 3-letter word, then 4. So it's quite difficult, but let's try this and see how they do. And then DeepSeek's at least going to show you how it thinks about it. Okay, so I'm going to hop over to DeepSeek. And by the way, you can just go to deepseek.com, and then they're going to link you up with chat.deepseek.com. You just put in your Gmail, and then you can start using it for free. And it looks basically, they've copied essentially almost exactly how ChatGPT looks. I'm in the dark mode. I use it on both. So, you don't even have to know how to use it. It's the same thing. And then just click on this here, this Deep Think R1. That puts you in into that's like basically like selecting O1. So you click on that. So I already had it clicked. So I've already written this in. Let's just go and see what they do on this particular test and compare and then talk about it. I've plugged this into, I'm going to go to O1, the exact same prompt. Okay. Now, see, you can already see one difference. ChatGPT, it just says it's thinking. That's all you know. Crafting a sentence. You have no idea what it's doing behind the scenes. You go to DeepSeek, and they've essentially reverse engineered, they think, what ChatGPT is doing, but now they're talking about it. So then you can, if you don't like something about the thinking in your next prompt, you can tweak it. That's the interesting thing. You can learn a lot this way. So they say, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but okay, let's tackle the problem. The user wants this, starting with the first word. You can choose I or a. Those are the only ones. Blah, 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 right? And then they just talk about how they're going to approach this. So when it says it's thinking for a minute or two, so like they're starting with I am, 2 letters, now able for, So it's easier in the beginning, but it's slowly building up. This is how it's doing it. Remember, it's doing it in its non-native language. I'm sure they've crammed more Chinese into it than English, but they're still giving it a go. And by the way, if you try this task with just GPT 4.0 or a non-thinking model, there's essentially a 0% chance that it will get it right. It needs to do thinking and testing and tweaking. It won't be able to just in one shot write out um, the answer to this kind of thing. Okay, so it is just going. Now it has. I am not sure about making perfect sentence structure. Now let's go and double check. That is 9 there. But sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. That's right. Interesting. So it did it today. When I did this yesterday, it didn't even work. So incredible. DeepSeek, ChatGPT, still thinking. Okay, that doesn't really matter. To be honest, when I did this specific test yesterday, ChatGPT was able to get it correct. I'm going to link out to not only our email newsletter, which you should definitely sign up to, in our free course if you want to learn about AI, but also the Medium article that I wrote yesterday, which is quite popular. So that gives you some examples there. Now, just see, I don't want to wait too long here. Okay, they've got it. Let's take a look. I am now very happy, always growing stronger, resilient. That is a very odd sentence. So you know what? There's randomness here. Yesterday, my conclusion after a couple tests was 01 was better. Now, to be honest, this particular time, you can try this yourself, but DeepSeek made a better sentence. This actually makes sense as a sentence. This doesn't. So interesting. It's closer than you think, and as I said, the non-thinking models can't do that. So pretty impressive, especially for a free open source one. Now the next thing, where yesterday I got DeepSeek to be even better than ChatGPT. Check this one out. Okay, quickly, if you don't know how to play Sudoku, I'm always trying to get large language models to do this. I'll just give the very quick explanation here. So this is a Sudoku puzzle. You need the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Across here, you can only use them once. You can only use them all once in this 3 by 3 box of 9, and only once each down here. So for example, this square cannot be a 1, a 2, a 7. It can't be any of these. It also can't be any of these, and it can't be any of these other ones. So you narrow it down. Okay. Now, I'm just I'm just going to copy one that I did yesterday because I actually have a Sudoku puzzle. So this is a math or logic-y type of thing. And the interesting thing is these are very hard, even for the thinking models to do. And I just want to talk about possibly why that is and what can be better. Like imagine using a calculator to do a hard math problem, like, not even that hard for a human, just annoying, like 45,063 times 32,095, and then do that quickly and then take the cubic root of it. The thing is, it'd be annoying for a human, but a calculator, it'll do it in a second and it will never get it wrong. The interesting thing here is these can often get these type of math calculations wrong, which is weird. But okay, so I've copied that. Let me just go to a new chat, make sure we're on 01. I'm going to say this. Okay, so I've given the Sudoku puzzle, and then I'm going to say, let's quote here, solve this Sudoku puzzle properly. Now, if you do this with with just 4O, there's no chance it'll even come close because there's a lot of calculating and going back to do this. I'm going to copy this whole thing and give that same prompt into DeepSeek and see what we get. Okay, I'll just start with a new chat. Exact same prompt. Now, DeepSeek, again, is going to show us what it's thinking, while ChatGPT is just, not showing anything again. That's how that works. Okay, so they're saying, let's tackle the Sudoku puzzle. First, I need to understand the state of the grid. Let me write it down. Okay, they're visualizing. Maybe I can sketch it out mentally, which is kind of funny. Starting with the first row, there's a 6. Okay, so it understands how to do it, and it is going to work for a couple minutes. You can see it's interesting. So this is all free. I mean, this is a lot of computing power that they're just giving you. I don't know if they have it running more efficiently or who's funding it to, let people use it, or what they get such a benefit for sharing this for free just to get market share. But this wouldn't be cheap to have millions of people using this. Let's see if ChatGPT is done. It probably won't be. But the interesting thing is, I'll be shocked if either of these get it 100% right. I want to show their final answers and then show what needs to be improved about these thinking things. Because what's interesting is, when you think about a thinking model as opposed to a non-thinking model, basically a non-thinking model like GPT-4o just spits out the first uh, thing that comes to mind, so to speak. But these thinking ones, they go back and forth and do some planning. But until DeepSeek, we didn't really know how they were thinking. We just knew it was thinking for a while. So if you're thinking about something for a while, but your thinking is not perfect, or it's just you're not thinking about it in the right way, the answer is not going to be very good. So we don't know what ChatGPT is thinking about. We just know that it's doing something. Okay, so let's just take a look here. It's still not done. So it's amazing how much planning it is doing just to solve one puzzle for free. I know from doing these, it won't take too much longer. But there's still, look at this. This number could be this, this, this. ChatGPT still not quite finished. So it's amazing how much. I mean, the difference, honestly, of O1 and then O1 preview before is it just seems like O1 lets you think for longer. I remember like 1 minute seemed to be the max almost for the preview version. So this just does more trial and error, more planning, more playing around, which would be better because it's more, but it's not necessarily a better quality of thinking. Now, the interesting thing to me about these Sudoku puzzles is I can't see why it would ever make a mistake. Now, if the problem's too hard, I could see it saying, you know what, we've timed out, or we're only going to think for 4 minutes and we couldn't figure it out. But the weird thing is, how do you ever make an error, like a math calculation error, and just say, oh, that's right, but it's not? That's a very strange sort of thing, I think, with these large language models that they will fix, I'm sure, soon, because it takes more double checking, which they don't seem to do. It's amazing how much power they're giving you, though, in um, one of these things. So while you're waiting, you might want to just sign up. I put all the sign up links and everything in the description, so it's a good time to hop into there. I mean, look at this. It's just really giving it the old college try here, which is it is amazing. So you can imagine these things they're speeding up every single few months. So imagine this amount of thinking will be done in a couple years. This will take a few seconds instead of a few minutes and then a microsecond, after that, if the speeds keep increasing the way they do. But honestly, they probably will, because that just seems to be the trend. The chips get better, there's more of them. I'm amazed. I'm kind of impressed how long they're going. They're really competing. All right. Let's see what else. So you can check out my Medium article on the same thing. And then I'm going to put links to our new software, which a lot of people are really loving, actually. It's Cartario. You can sign up, for free. If you have a dog, you can take photos of your dog, upload them, and get your dog photos. You get a custom image model of your dog, and then you get a whole bunch of dog photos, which are awesome. You can do yourself as a headshot. If you want to update your LinkedIn profile with these AI photos of you wearing anything, you can edit photos. We're making a Shopify app. You can make custom images of your product soon. Just see, these are still going here. Finalizing, so it should be done soon. Options. So definitely, while you're waiting, you should open up a new tab, sign up for a free account with Google of Cartario, and also make sure you're liking the video, I hope, subscribing, all that fun stuff. Gathering insights. This is really something. It's almost, the funny thing is, it's almost like it knows that it's competing with each other. Okay. And I say that kind of half jokingly, but I've never seen them think for this long. It's almost like they know they're getting videoed and the best answer is going to win. All right. I mean, you might want to just skip ahead for a second here, but let me take a look. Okay, final grid. Now let's take a look at this. Here's the answer. Look at all of that. Unbelievable. First, I just want to 403 seconds. Unbelievable. So what is that's like more than 6 minutes? Okay. And that is for free. You're not even paying for that. Okay, so let's just look at the top. Row 1, their final answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's right there. Now let's just take a random grid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you can already see that it's wrong. 8, 8. So this is the weird thing with these. See, there's 2 8s in this 3x3 grid. You need to have the 9 digits. So the thing is, like it says, each row, column, and 3x3 box contains all numbers from 1 to 9 without repetition. So, I would rather that these things say, you know what, we didn't have the time to figure it out, but as you can see here, there are 2 8s. It actually just says, you know what, this is right. And this is the weird thing with large language models, where they just lie to you. They just say, oh yeah. But it could obviously go and fact check itself, which they never do. So I wish that was an element of the thinking before it just sends out an answer. Because if this was bigger, like imagine if this was important tax information or some huge thing you're trying to analyze for your business, and you got millions of numbers, you won't be able to trust it. That's the difficult thing. So hopefully they can do that. I have never seen ChatGPT o1 think for this long ever. This is unbelievable. Better get it right. But anyway, it's interesting. So these are close though, that you can see. I just want to see if it copied the puzzle. 4, 9, 6. Yeah, 8's in the second. Yeah. So it's doing a decent job. I'll just look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you ever do these Sudoku puzzles, if you can even get close, like this would take a human a lot longer than this, obviously. But it just is funny that it will make a mathematical logic mistake somewhere and just leave it in. And I think that really needs to be fixed. You guys can tell me in the comments, have you ever seen ChatGPT o1 use this much uh, thinking power or this much time? I've never seen anything like it. I'm shocked. I'm kind of impressed though. I like that it lets it think. Because the worst thing is it just spits out an answer that's wrong. So we will end the video after we can compare these two answers because I'm going to be blown away if it gets it. And then it'd be funny if on my demo I was predicting, because of what I saw yesterday, that ChatGPT would be better at language and DeepSeek would be better at these kind of puzzles. It's pretty good, but still, like if you don't get it 100%, you can't trust them for math. However, you know, quite unbelievable. I'm really dying to see how long this is going to take. I've never had over I've never had over 4 minutes with an O1 prompt ever. So it is really giving it the old college try. But you can just like, if I just go slowly here and scroll up, just look at how much thinking, and obviously OpenAI is doing it too behind the scenes, and planning these things are giving you for one answer. And then just imagine in a couple years when everything speeds up and gets cheaper, because I've heard it's going down by a factor of basically 10 every every year. The cost and this, like the speeds are increasing 10 times and the cost is going down 10 times. So just imagine where we're going to be soon. So this is close. So that's impressive, because if you just gave this to, like I said, any non-thinking model, this is absolutely incredible. I've never ever seen anything like that. Okay, let's just go to this now for a while we're doing this. DeepSeek, what I like, much cheaper, open source, shows thinking and reasoning. Yeah, this is what I said here. Basically the same thing. So this is what ChatGPT said for their sentence yesterday. So this was their sentence that was better. I do not like noisy, spooky spiders invading basements. So that did work. And I thought that was a reasonably good sentence. And DeepSeek, what did they give? They admitted that it wasn't even right. They said, I am not sure where hidden secrets linger eternally. And this one, uh, linger is supposed to have 8 letters and it only has 6. So it said it said it's impossible. That's a quote. So it got that one wrong, which also shows just the randomness. Okay, look at this. Now it's finally done. All right, now it says every solver tool or manual technique hits dead ends. That almost always means the puzzle is either uh, has something wrong in it or truly has no solution. Recommendation: if you can double check the original clues, yeah, no. So there's just no chance. Likely a misprint, they said. I know that it's not a misprint. So I'm at, look at that. Wow. 12 minutes and 37 seconds. I've never seen that before. Um, it really tried. It doesn't tell you what it thought, but it really tried a whole bunch of things, and then it said it didn't solve it. I've never seen that answer either. So, look, they're updating these things all the time. You always get different answers, but at the end of the day, the war is heating up between the AI war between China and the US. As a user, you should try to use both. Go to DeepSeek and just try their answers. Try it out. It's free. It's no big deal. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you like this one, and see you next time.